Yes, welcome to the Revit guys tutorial and a continuation of where we were the last time after we created the title block. So now we're going to take a design, something I've just done over the break. I did like a small battle pad, still a work in progress anyway. So has a typical foyer, living room, small dining, kitchen, store and laundry. So I think I'm going to make it maybe 2-bedroom, maybe with an office or something like that. I don't know. So I just quickly whipped up something that we can work on. So I've already named the spaces on the ground floor at least. I've already done some work. So just to for this tutorial we'll be going to or delving into detailing your floor plans, how to detail your floor plans for professional use, for construction, for the client if you want, for vendors and every other person. So first thing, it's very important that you work on sheets. If you don't work on sheets, you will regret it. So without further ado, let's go down to it. So if you notice, I have named the spaces and they have room numbers. It's very important to include your room numbers, because one, when you're doing your room elevation, it helps you. When you're doing your finishes schedule, when you're doing your RCP, when you're doing your specifications, RCP meaning reflected ceiling plan, when you're doing your specifications, when you're doing almost everything you're doing, it's quite important that you have your room number. And you sort of do it in a way that is, it follows your movement in the building. Like for instance, you see terrace, number 1, foyer. So just how you're going to move when you come to the apartment or the loft. I think I'll call it the loft. Yeah, so it's sort of sequential to an extent. So another thing that you notice is these furnitures are grayed out, so they're sort of like in the background. They're not really what you want to see. It's just important for you to see it and stuff like that. So you can grade out a couple of ways. You can use your graphics over like that. So let's try this. Oh, sorry, I've used by category. So Hafton, what's this? Specialty equipment. Oh, I used a line here. Okay, it was like a placeholder. I wasn't supposed to use a line there. I'll correct that. So I'll correct that shortly. Object style, special equipment. I'll just make this gray. Fine. Okay. So let's add some grid on the architecture. Grid. So first things first. This is grid 1. Grid 2. Oh, okay. Started from 1. So let's say this. It's 1 and for grids. Now this. For now, let me just, no need to complicate it. It's not serious. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. So let's name it. So from left to right, that's the way we read. So 1, 2, BE. See, and all the way. Yes, so this is, so if you notice, everything is coming out from the template that we designed. So this section, let's delete this section for now because I don't know, I'm trying to use that section to model the elevation. So let's delete this section for now. We'll include all those ones later. So I'm just arranging all my annotation stuff before I get into the meat of the. So I want this to be 2.5. Okay, 2.5 area. So let me get that. I want to see why. I just realized that text was not part of our, remember our switches. Yeah. I think it's too big. So let's rename it and make it 1. Doesn't need to be big. It's just telling us what's happening. So 1. So this guy, will change this to 1. Yeah, it's pretty decent. Another thing is that I want to make this bold and make it transparent. I don't want it to be opaque. Actually, I don't like that white background around it. Okay, not bad, not bad. I think it's too small. So let's rename to 1.5. I think this did. So let's do this guy. So next is, okay, so I think we finished annotating our, just give me a second. Let's get an island. I saw one here just now. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? That's eluding me. I counter top. Oh, this is not curved though. It doesn't have rounded edges. Okay. Okay, I think he has. So let's drop this guy here. So that line was what I used to, you know, sketch it. Let's stretch it out a bit. Let's that's a little bit. It's fine, and maybe move this door somewhere around there, so I don't just opening and seeing going straight to the wall. So you sort of have a linear movement. Okay, so that is set. Let's say everything is good for your plan. So another important thing that people miss out from plan is your knot arrow. So this is definitely not the way my knot is, so I'll get it from my site. So I had already done a site. I've not finished it anyway, but we've done all the true knot and project knot. So let's put it in project knot. So let's say this is how your site is. So this is where your knot is straight. So I will then copy this knot and paste our line to current view. So that's why I said my knot is not straight. So put this top right. I wonder why my Revit is slow. I know I got a message to yes, update my windows. So let's start dimensioning. Short key is DI, or you come to annotate aligned. So there's this one where normally when you start it, it's usually on wall center line. So if it usually picks the center line first, you have to tab to get your wall calls and all this kind of stuff, which kind of slows you down. So you can put it in wall faces or faces of core. So that way you just pick up the cores easily. You understand? So pick this, this, this. Supposed to have a window there, but we'll adjust that. This, this. Oops, no. You don't need this. So your first line is usually your openings. You pick all your openings, you do that. The second one is usually your grid. Then, oh no, sorry, I should have done the overall before I do the grid. So you get the overall. If you notice, I'm picking the core, I'm not picking the plaster, because that's what's important. That plaster is just for detailing sake. Overall, the overall grid. So this is one way to do it. So openings, your grid, the overall grid. This is how I like it. Some people do openings, overall, then grid and overall grid. But this is the way I like to do my own. And feel free to let me know how you do yours. So pick up the openings. So I'm supposed to have a window for the kitchen. Like I said, this plan is half base. It's just to show you fundamentals of, you know, of floor plans, the essentials for floor plans, grid, and overall. Then overall grid. Let's bring out this grid a little bit. Just so that it doesn't. Also, when you're pulling out this grid and all this stuff, let's make sure that it's on 2D. What I mean is that when you click on the grid, this manipulation is on 2D, because so what it means is that that is independent to this view. If it's on 3D, what that means is that you're pulling it on every view. So let's say your other plan, you had finished it and it was okay, you had set the grid well. When you move it, it's going to affect the other view. So this way, it's just independent to this view when it's 2D. So if we pick on this again, same thing, openings. will pick this because that place is going to be opened. I'll pick this. Just let it be a little bit close. Onto the grid. Then we'll do the overall. So let's see the overall. I'm actually dimensioning the staircase. This is actually where I should have picked it from. So okay, so it's the same. Bad. So this is overall grid. So let's bring out this guy a little bit. So you can see same thing for this, you know. So maybe I should just pause the video, do all this, then come and explain everything I've done. I think that would be a more, you know, a faster way to do this, so not to drag this on and on. But let's just finish the exterior. Then I will do, okay, 950. No, that's not 950. It's actually 900. Okay, assuming we don't have any windows there. Then overall grid. Okay, so this is it. This is what I'm saying. You change it to 2D so that it doesn't mess up the other view. So this is in 3D. Change to 2D. Let it snap with the rest. Good. So this is. Let me pause the video and just do most of the dimensions and explain everything afterwards. So I've done most of the work now, and so as you can see, dimensions on the exterior and interior. So let's go over some of the fundamentals. So if you notice, this text and this text, the font size is the same. This is slightly bigger because it's the overall. So I use it like this, a step higher. So if this is 3, this is 4. Same all around. So the grid, overall grid and overall building is the same text. Then the interior is slightly smaller, say 0.5 or 1 smaller than the one outside, because you want to be able to get into those tiny spaces and do as much as you can pick. So another important thing, that aside the room number, room name, you also want to put the spot height. So there you go, we have the spot height, and okay, I changed the size and I also changed the color from the one we set up in our template in the first video. So when you have all this, if you look at it in context of the title block, so you have your title block, you have your plan properly annotated, then you have your north, and just go over everything. Make sure you pick all the dimensions, make sure it's as neat as possible. If you're not using opaque, you want to pull out the dimension of your walls to come out, and you want to make sure your let me just add one last thing. Annotate, where's that again? Thread number. You want to add this to, no, let me add this on the other side. Yeah, you want to add this to your, oh yeah, good. Yeah, so that it is clear on how it looks and everything. So this is going up, you count your stairs. So important thing, the first thing you should look at is your room name. So that's quite bigger. So this text is bigger than this, and this is bigger than this, your area, and it's bigger than your spot height. Your furniture is in place, your windows is in place. Also, make sure you put your level, your detail level to fine. So that's where you get all these crisp details from your doors and your windows, your furnitures and stuff. It gives you that added layer of detail. So what again? So just make sure you work on shit. Make sure your north arrow is there. Make sure your spot height is there. Your room number is there. All dimensions are neatly placed, and you pull out these guys. So normally it's within the wall. So because the wall is dark, it might not show. So you just pick the middle, control, and move it to a desired location. So the other tutorials will be putting out the legend, because another thing that we need to put is the legend. So the legend will carry stuff like what we want to use for the hash pattern for our grass, for our concrete, for our aluminium, for our steel, for our wood, the abbreviations we would use and stuff like that. So that column will come just besides this, somewhere around here. And we'll have to push the plan and all. So basically, so this is almost there. So what is missing from this plan now is further annotations of the windows and doors, which we'll cover in another class, because that is another extensive topic that we'll do. But we'll also carry so some people dimension their furniture. So I don't do that. I create another floor plan and dimension my furnitures. Also for the room drawings, that one also pick it up from there as well. Then, so this is our bachelor pad coming up good. We'll put our section lines eventually, and all call outs and all those stuff. Start to get flesh. Then if you really want to be thorough, I'll put the toilet before the next class. So if you really want to be in depth, very detailed about it, after your coordination, you also want to maybe show all the penetrations through the building. So that is a different layer, or that's a different working drawing, set of working drawings entirely, where you will show all the penetrations, plumbing, electrical, mechanical, on the floor and on the wall. So, but this drawing has no coordinations, so that's why you see there's no column. If I can get a good structural engineer to do this for me, I'll just assume where the columns will be and assume sizes, just for the tutorial sake. So this is pretty much what we are doing for today, and thank you for. So this is what the video looks like. Just a simple bachelor pad, and I'm still working on it. As you can see, windows have not been properly placed and all those kind of stuff. So yes, where we are. Yeah. So I would continue to flesh out. So this is what we use for this series of construction documentation. We use it for RCP, we use it for sections, we use it for elevations, we use it for call outs, we use it for wall sections, we use it for external works, we use it for room drawings, room elevations, and the likes. So as usual, subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and I'm getting massive love from India. Like my Instagram page, a lot of Indians are following me. I don't know what I'm doing right, but thank you all the same. India, and I think India, some cool guys. So, and I'm watching their page and seeing a lot of cultural stuff. It's weird to me, but it's interesting. So thank you very much. Thank you for subscribing, and we'll continue in the next video. Till then, stay safe.